You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
The County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public. The sandbags are outside of the facilities and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: the Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, located at 1331 North Fabens Street in Fabens, Texas, 79838. The Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, located at 191 Canutillo Avenue in Canutillo, Texas, 79835. And the Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, located at 14698 Van Lane, El Paso, Texas, 79938.
Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Danny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched a prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings!
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the Purchasing Department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus through public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here this morning. It's great to see so many smiling faces. We're about to go ahead and get started.
Are we preparing resolutions at the end of the day?
We wouldn't want to put them through that, Commissioner.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Monday, November 5th, 2018. Commissioners Court is meeting in regular open session. Would you please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 3 is the consent agenda composed of items 3A through 3Z. We would like to announce a correction for item 3W. Approve and authorize the county judge to sign the overtime agreements for reimbursement in the amount of $2,537 for 1 lieutenant, 1 sergeant, and 5 detectives through the Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force program from October 29, 2018 through September 30th, 2019. Contract number 2018-0781. Are there any items that the members of the court or the public would like to pull for individual discussion?
Commissioners, any items that you'd like to pull?
Yes, I'd like 3M, please.
Any others?
If we're pulling some, I'll also like to pull N and O, please.
Any others, Commissioners? Any members of the public wishing to pull any items? No? Okay, hearing none, I'd make a motion to approve the consent agenda minus M, N, and O.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 4, resolutions. Approve and adopt a resolution designating the month of November as Texas Veterans Appreciation Month.
Thank you, Judge. Commissioners, it gives me a tremendous amount of honor to be able to read this into the record. And I know we have at least 2 people here for this. I know Mr. Park, Bill Park, and Mr. Mond. Are you out here someplace? If you don't mind stepping up to the podium while I read the resolution, then you might be able to say a few words for us. And as I mentioned, it gives me a tremendous amount of honor to be able to read this into the record because of the sacrifices that men and women like you all have sacrificed in the past, and this is what gives us that right today to be able to do this, to gather like we do today. Whereas the men and women of El Paso, Texas have distinguished themselves by proudly defending the United States of America by serving in the United States Army, the Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. And whereas in World War I, they fought in battles known as the Battle of Belleau Wood, Battle of Hamel, the Second Battle of Marne, and served in units such as the Lost Battalion. And whereas in World War II, they were called to duty after the attack on Pearl Harbor and fought in Europe and the Pacific. They participated in the largest amphibious landing ever known at the invasion of Normandy, commonly known as D-Day, on June 6, 1944. And whereas they fought in battles known as the Battle of Castern Pass, the Battle of Achem, and the Battle of the Bulge. After victory in Europe was declared, they continued in the Pacific battles known as the Battle of Wake Island, the Battle of Bataan, and the Battle of Midway. And whereas they fought in the rice paddies of Korea, in battles known as the Battle of Bloody Ridge, Battle of Heartbreak Ridge, the Battle of Pork Chop Hill, and in the rice paddies of Vietnam in battles known as the Battle of Ai Drang, Battle of Hamburger Hill, and the Tet Offensive. And whereas they fought in the Gulf War in battle places known as the Battle of 73 Easting, Battle of Medina Ridge, and the Battle of Face Line Bullet. And whereas they continue to defend our great nation in faraway lands known as Iraq, Afghanistan, Korea, and Europe. And now therefore be it resolved by the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court that their service and sacrifices are honored and appreciated by declaring November 2018 as Texas Veterans Appreciation Month. Signed this 5th day of November 2018 by the honorable members of Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout. Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good morning, Mr. Mon. The mic is yours.
I'm Darrell Mon, founder and president of the El Paso Veterans and Writers Association. I want to thank you all, seriously. You, Commissioner's Court, the county, the judges, the DA's office, Betsy Keller and her staff, you all have done a really great job of supporting us. What we do here in El Paso is it's not done anywhere else in Texas. And I get calls of how we do it, and I share the information with them. Houston's called, everybody's called, and they just can't believe that we can work together so well. You're the reason that so much of support goes out to our veterans. And without it, we would not be able to accomplish a lot of what we do. Your personal sacrifices, you're putting up with me when I'm not in my good moods, my off-the-wall comments about Star Trek are all noted and deeply appreciated. But in all seriousness, I deeply thank every one of you, everybody who works at the county who supports us on food drives, fundraisers, everything we can come up with. And I humbly accept this and deeply appreciate the support that we get from you all.
Bill.
Commissioners, November is an important day, month, every year. Every day should be Veterans Day. This year, in November 2018, we celebrate the end of World War I. First use of an airplane in combat. First use of a submarine in combat. First use of mass destruction weapons, gas. It is the way we treat our veterans today that will encourage young men and women to stand up tomorrow. So thank you.
The mic is yours.
I am Brum McCollum, Chair of the Veterans Advisory Board, also President of the Partners for the Paso Veterans Treatment Court. And I want to echo Bill and Darrell's comments for all support and everything you've given us since you've been here. Also, I want to take this moment to thank all the veterans for their service, and also you acknowledging them and thanking for their service as well. So
Would you like to say anything? Well, we appreciate all of you being here this morning. We really have formed a really great partnership with the start of the county having its Veterans Commission. So thank you, Commissioner Leon, for putting this resolution on. And the partnership we have formed together, as you mentioned, has also been really fruitful. It is really our honor to be able to work with each and every one of you in trying to advance the county's mission while ensuring that we are never forgetting of our veterans and the sacrifice that they have made. So we appreciate everything you are doing and will continue to do on behalf of El Paso County. So thank you very much. Round of applause.
Item 4B, approve and adopt a resolution recognizing veteran caregivers in El Paso County, Texas.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Keeping with the theme of recognizing veterans, we're also going to recognize today the people that take care of them when they get back. And so, whereas there are millions of caregivers across the United States caring for current and former military service members, 20% of whom are supporting veterans since September 2001, and whereas caregivers have come to the forefront of taking care of our nation's veterans, they selflessly give of themselves, some leaving their careers, education, family, and friends behind to seek the absolute best care possible for veterans. They work around the clock managing medical appointments, therapies, medications, personal care, home and money management on top of their traditional family needs. Whereas 9 in 10 caregivers of veterans are female, and 70% provide care to their spouse or partner. 30% of veterans caregivers care for a duration of 10 years or more, as compared to 15% of caregivers nationally. 3 times as many caregivers of veterans report spending 40 hours a week or more providing care compared to the total number of caregivers nationally. And whereas while these caregivers face similar situations as national caregivers, including caring for someone with chronic illness or aging issues, they also have unique challenges such as dealing with physical disabilities and emotional and mental health issues. And whereas 68% of veterans caregivers reported their situation as highly stressful compared to 31% of caregivers nationally, while veteran caregivers report that their veteran experiences depression or anxiety, and 60% report post-traumatic stress disorder. And whereas of the 68% of caregivers who were employed, almost half reported leaving work entirely or taking early retirement compared to national caregiver statistics who reported the same. And whereas, as seen in other caregiving studies, caregivers feel their role as labor of love, with 94% of the veterans caregivers reporting that they are proud to serve. And whereas some of the best caregivers become advocates, clearing the paths for other veterans to receive the highest level of care, and they become the voice for those who get lost navigating a confusing system that can seem cruel and unavailable to those in crisis. And whereas these amazing caregivers have opened gates to more treatment options, support groups, to form new nonprofits, policy changes, and seeking available funding to address the various needs of injured service members, veterans, caregivers, and now care options for children of these wounded veterans who often suffer from trauma. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court that the county recognize veteran caregivers as the unsung heroes in communities like ours, as they provide compassionate, holistic, and invaluable care to those best among us who heeded the call to serve this great nation. And the county will continue to support the community efforts of caregivers to provide a platform to hear their issues and find ways to assist. Signed this 5th day of November, 2018, the Honorable County Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good morning.
Morning. I want to say thank you to the county for your continued support. I accept this resolution in behalf of many of our caregivers here in our community who care for ill or injured veterans. A few years ago, the term caregiver wasn't even heard of. Now, with the advocacy from the spouses and the family members, they have brought the spotlight to the care and support they provide to our military and veteran families. There are now programs that support the families and many studies that focus on how to support the caregiver and the long-term effects. I want to thank everybody here because you guys have been very supportive, as well as the EPVRA, Bill Sparks, and many nonprofits here in El Paso who support us, and we're able to bring respite workshops and events that help the caregiver get away from the stress of home. I want to invite you all on this Thursday. We're going to be having our Caregiver Appreciation Dinner, where I will share this recognition with those caregivers. And I would like you guys to attend so that you can see what our caregivers in the El Paso community look like and hear from their families on the wonderful things they are doing. Thank you.
Before you get off, when and where is the dinner?
It's going to be this Thursday at November 8th at 6 o'clock, and it's going to be at the Veteran One Stop. I have an invitation for each one of you. So,
thank you.
We appreciate you being with us. Does anybody else want to say anything? No? Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis, for bringing this to us.
You can. Nolita has put together an awesome program. The caregivers are often and sadly sometimes not getting the proper recognition and support that they deserve. Without them, I know we would be losing a lot more veterans today. Suicide rate is down because of people like Nolita and other caregivers that care and support the veterans. I thank you all for recognizing her.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Item 4C, approve and adopt a resolution designating November 2018 as El Paso Children's Hospital Diabetes Awareness Month in El Paso County, Texas.
Good morning. I again have the honor of reading this resolution. It's going to be the Commissioner Stout show this morning for resolutions, so bear with us. I know we have a number of members of the board from Children's Hospital staff and administration. Can you all come up to the podium and I will read the resolution and then we will hear from you. Whereas El Paso Children's Hospital provides the highest level of pediatric care in West Texas and southern New Mexico, and whereas the diabetes educators empower children, adolescents, and their families to manage their diabetes. They teach, coach, and guide families so that they understand how diabetes affects their personal lives and how they can take steps to live healthy, happy lives. And whereas EPCH provides individualized education to the child, adolescent, and their family based on understanding their diabetes diagnosis and treatment options. And whereas the resources and activities such as comprehensive education to newly diagnosed children, support groups, and an annual pediatric diabetes conference provides needed educational opportunities. And whereas the Zachary Bowling Pediatric Diabetes Outpatient Education Service at EPCH has been recognized by the American Diabetes Association for quality self-management education and support between Phoenix and Austin. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court that November shall be known as El Paso Children's Hospital Diabetes Awareness Month. Signed this 5th day of November, 2018, the Honorable County Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Standing with me today to help raise awareness for pediatric diabetes are some amazing board members that we have. We have staff here as well as patient families today. The Zachary Bowling Pediatric Outpatient Diabetes Education Services was established by the generosity of a local family. The lives of the Bowling family were forever changed when their son Zachary was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and treated at El Paso Children's Hospital. The El Paso Children's Pediatric Diabetes Education Services are staffed by knowledgeable educators who have received extensive training in both type 1 and type 2 pediatric diabetes. Education topics include nutrition, exercise, managing diabetes at school, training grandparents and other caregivers, insulin pumps, and continuous glucose monitoring. Having the American Diabetes Association recognize our program at El Paso Children's Hospital means that the children of our city and the surrounding area have access to quality, nationally recognized education services. The skills they have learned here can help them live healthy, productive lives, free of the complications of diabetes. I would like to ask the Bowling family to come up and share a few words of their experience.
Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. In April of 2017, our son Zachary was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, just 4 days after his 13th birthday. We took him to the pediatrician's office and expressed our concerns that the symptoms he had been displaying, such as drinking copious amounts of fluids, urinating frequently, low energy, could be a result of diabetes. After a simple urine test, sugar was detected, and we were off to El Paso Children's Hospital. We spent 2 days there. We showed up scared and shocked. After confirming the diagnosis, we worked with a diabetes educator to learn what type 1 is. We learned terms such as basal and bolus, how to count carbs. It was information overload, and it was overwhelming. However, the care and support we received at El Paso Children's Hospital is phenomenal. Between the nursing staff and the educators, we felt supported. They provided positive support, and they really took care of us, and we felt comfortable returning home and caring for Zach. Once we did, we posted his story on Facebook. In the last 6 months, 2 of my friends have recognized the symptoms of diabetes in their own children and have taken them to the pediatrician, where they were also diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Putting his story out there helped others. While Zach is type 1, raising awareness for type 1 and type 2 is extremely important to us. Children and teens are being diagnosed, especially with type 2, at an alarming rate when it was almost unheard of 30 years ago. Through El Paso Children's Hospital, we were able to help fund the clinic and as well as the Zach Packs. And, we just really appreciate your support, the commissioner's support, and the county for their commitment in bringing awareness to diabetes in our community by supporting El Paso Children's Hospital in its current and future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you for being here and sharing your story. I know that can be incredibly emotional, and it's brave for you all to be here. So thank you. Did anybody else want to speak? No? Okay. Did y'all want to at least introduce yourselves so we know who might be here this morning with the great UMC team? Children's team.
Taylor Moreno, Director of Institutional Development.
Monica Iñiguez, Director of Hematology Oncology.
Bill Gertis, Director of Critical Care.
Amanda Timmerman, Manager of the Pediatric Diabetes Education Services.
Ross, Board Member.
There are others. Don't be shy. We see you.
John Runkles, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer.
Thank you for being here.
Annette Persall, Diabetes Educator. Annabelle Licea, Registered Nurse and Diabetes Educator. And I just want to recognize the educator that did help the Bowling family during that episode. She couldn't be here today because she's participating in patient care back at the hospital. Josephine Kenny, a Registered Nurse and Diabetes Educator.
I didn't introduce myself starting out, and I apologize for that. I'm Renee Thompson, Chief Nursing Officer.
Well, thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. And as everybody knows, and I don't want to belabor the point, but diabetes is so prevalent along the U.S.-Mexico border, especially in our Hispanic population. And so it's really wonderful to have a children's hospital dedicated to doing so much great work in the community, but especially around diabetes. And so I cannot sing enough praises for the great work that each of you is doing at our children's hospital. But thank you on behalf of the community. So thank you.
Item 4D, approve and adopt a resolution designating November 5th, 2018 as National Transgender Day of Remembrance in El Paso County, Texas.
Good morning again. I also have the honor of reading this resolution. I know we have folks from the Borderland Rainbow Center as well as youth group members here. So if you all would like to come up to the podium, and I will read the resolution and then we will hear from you. Whereas the Borderland Rainbow Center in El Paso, Texas, recognizes the violence and challenges faced by the transgender community in the nation every day, particularly transgender women of color. And whereas there is a long history of violence targeting the transgender community and women of color, much of which goes unreported or inaccurately reported. And whereas transgender women of color are more likely to experience violence, including in prisons and immigration detention facilities, and whereas this year, there were at least 24 known transgender people killed in the United States, 22 of whom were people of color. And whereas discriminatory attitudes towards the transgender community and women of color foster high rates of violence, homelessness, and economic instability, and whereas the members of the transgender community and women of color who do not have access to safe education, employment, and housing due to lack of availability, targeted support programs, or training are forced into situations that put them in vulnerable positions. And whereas our county must ensure anti-discriminatory employment practices and promote policies for accepting inclusive environments, and whereas it is essential to develop policies that support the transgender community, develop public education to dispel myths, and to humanize transgender people. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court that November 5th shall be known as National Transgender Day of Remembrance. Signed this 5th day of November 2018, the Honorable County Commissioners Court. Second.
Hi, my name
We're
is
going to take a
Marcia.
vote really quick.
We're going to vote real quick and then we'll hear from
Oh, okay, sorry.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Hi, my name is Marcia Ortiz, and I'm an MSW intern at Borderland Rainbow Center. And when I came to Borderland Rainbow Center to intern there, I wasn't really sure what I was getting myself into. And when I began to work with the transgender community there, I fell in love with them. My heart just poured out for this community. And when I started working on the Transgender Day of Remembrance project, I realized how much need this community requires. They lack in so many areas, and how dehumanizing they are in community, how people look at them, you know, and how much violence goes towards them. And I am so impressed by the Commissioner's Court and by Judge that you guys recognize them and are here to humanize them. And I'm so proud that our city is making this day a permanent observance day for the city of El Paso. And I'm so happy that you guys are recognizing them for our city. I'm sorry I'm not as prepared as I thought I was mentally for this. But I'm so happy that you guys are recognizing them and humanizing them and showing our support in our city for transgender people. Thank you.
You were wonderful, by the way.
Hi, my name is Catherine Schmidt. I'm one of the social workers at the Borderland Rainbow Center, and we're a community center for all of the LGBT community and its allies. And as an ally to the transgender community, I want to echo our gratitude, but I also want to highlight the fact that because of discrimination and because of jobs and school, many of our community could not be here today. So we also stand here to remind you of the children in elementary schools who are at school today, the people who are serving in our military. We have several active duty members who are participants in our support groups, who are volunteers, as well as disabled veterans and honorably retired veterans. And as I was listening to the Veterans Commission earlier, or the committee there, I wanted to just highlight that because I think often in trying to make real the discrimination that our community faces, we also sometimes ignore the very huge contributions that people make, whether it's in service to the country, whether it's service to their community. One of our moms of a transgender youth chose instead to be at our food pantry serving 350 families a month because she said, this is where I'm needed most. Please just share my story with everyone. And so I want you to remember how much we appreciate you and how this remains a struggle. Some of our community are even at the point of just reminding leadership at the federal level that we exist. And so we appreciate knowing that El Paso is a place where we are seen, we are heard, and we are supported. Thank you so much.
Would you like to introduce yourselves or say a few words?
I'm Carol Johnson, a supporter of the Borderland Rainbow Center. Thank you very much.
Being here.
My name is Martin Esquivel. I'm a youth outreach program coordinator at the Borderline Rainbow Center, and I wanted to thank you guys very much too.
Erin Mena, Youth and Elder Grant Coordinator, and thank you very much.
Thank you. I've had the pleasure of sitting in with the Borderline Rainbow Center on some of the work that they're doing, and recently with the funder who had come into town to learn about their story. They were based out of
Houston and Dallas.
Houston and Dallas.
Yeah, and they just awarded us the grant.
Mhm.
They said we're the only community center.
And so the work that's being done is so inclusive. It's so holistic, really, from the food pantry to the counseling to just serving as a safe place for anybody to be able to go and share their story and feel loved is really amazing. And so El Paso is very lucky to have such dedicated individuals who are willing to take the time to not only create this amazing space, but to serve as an example for what the rest of the state can look like. We've got a legislative session coming up that will be incredibly difficult again. We had the bathroom bill that was highly controversial last session. We have conversations happening at the federal level when you speak about our military and being excluded. I believe that the LGBTQ community won't be included in Census 2020 and being able to identify ourselves for who we are. And so I thank you for creating that loving space for everybody to be able to enjoy. So I very much appreciate the work that you're doing. Okay. Round of applause, please. Also in the audience, I believe on behalf of this resolution, is Grace Bettis with PFLAG. So thank you so much, Grace, for all the work that you and your organization does.
Item 4E, approve and adopt a resolution declaring Thursday, November 15, 2018 as El Paso Giving Day in El Paso County, Texas.
It is now my honor to read this resolution into the record. Whereas November 15th, 2018, El Paso County is invited to come together for the third 24-hour day of giving known as El Paso Giving Day. And whereas El Paso Giving Day is part of an amazing movement of organizations, countries, companies, and individuals that are using giving days to celebrate and encourage charitable giving and volunteerism around the world. And whereas El Paso Giving Day is creating a new culture of philanthropy in our community, inspiring new and young donors to invest in their community by donating to organizations that make our region a better place to live. And whereas El Pasoans are encouraged to visit elpasogivingday.org on November 15th, 2018, and make a donation to one or more of the many nonprofit organizations in our community signed up to participate this year. And whereas El Paso Giving Day is generously sponsored by the El Paso del Norte Foundation, along with corporate and philanthropic partners such as Andeaver Foundation, Bank of America, El Paso Electric, Gannett Foundation, Hoy Family Auto, Hunt Family Foundation, Kemp Smith Law Firm, KVIA 7, Microsoft, Pack and Ship Express, Rio Grande Cancer Foundation, the Meadows Foundation, and Westar Bank. And whereas El Paso Giving Day is led by a consortium of leaders and managed by the Paso del Norte Foundation in partnership with Barracuda PR, Casa of El Paso, Centers Against Sexual and Family Violence, El Paso Electric, Lauterbach Barshaw & Co., Rio Grande Cancer Foundation, and United Way of El Paso County. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court do hereby declare Thursday, November 15th, 2018 as El Paso Giving Day, signed this 5th day of November 2018 by the members of the Honorable Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you very much.
Absolutely, thank you.
I'm Ana Aleman with the Paso del Norte Foundation, and on behalf of the foundation, as well as our partners, we have the electric company here, and where are you? Paso? We're very grateful to you. Nonprofits provide the majority of our education, our social services, healthcare, the arts, but with very few tools and resources on how to go about being successful in their work. So El Paso Giving Day has stepped in to help train on fund development and also provide trainings in the summer, free of charge to nonprofits on how to better be sustainable. This year we have over 220 nonprofits registered. In the last 3 years, we've raised a little over $300,000 to support 165 nonprofits. So this year, early giving starts November 8th. It's very easy to give. Log on to elpasogivingday.org. You'll see a directory of nonprofits, everything from animal welfare, veterans issues, youth issues, the arts, and basically just click onto your favorite nonprofits. Thank you very much for everything.
Excellent. Thank you. Would everyone else like to introduce themselves, please?
Mika Short, I'm Vice President of Development at the Paso del Norte Foundation.
Good morning, I'm Sandy Moody. I'm from CASA, the Court Appointed Special Advocates, and I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator there. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Ruiz. I'm a Development Assistant at the Paso del Norte Foundation. Thank you.
Good morning, Carmen Mayorga with El Paso Electric. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, Paso has always been incredibly generous, and so we have no doubt this year will continue to show the same. And I'll just use this as an example. We have the migrant asylum seeker families who are being dropped off downtown, and really the nonprofit sector is the one who is doing everything they can right now in collaboration with many individuals, right? But it's a great example of how important the nonprofit sector is in any community to address the many issues that we're facing. So thank you for all the work that you do, and we look forward to giving on the 15th. So, thank you so much.
That's actually my anniversary, so I'll be giving a lot that day. Flowers and dinner and...
Item 4F, approve and adopt a resolution declaring the week of November 10th through November 18th, 2018 as National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week in El Paso County, Texas.
It is also my honor to read this resolution into the record. Whereas the National Coalition for the Homeless and the National Student Campaign Against Hunger and Homelessness have sponsored National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week for 25 years. And whereas there is a need to increase awareness and education among the residents of El Paso County concerning hunger, homelessness, and the shortage of affordable housing for people that are disadvantaged, as well as encourage support for social service providers. And whereas social service providers are committed to sheltering and providing supportive services to people experiencing hunger and homelessness. And whereas the El Paso Center for Children, the American GI Forum, the El Pasoans Fighting Hunger Food Bank, You Eat, I Eat Community Unity Food Pantry, the Opportunity Center for the Homeless, the Giving Project, Via Maria, Salvation Army, La Posada Home, United Way, YWCA, Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid, and the El Paso Coalition for the Homeless recognize that hunger and homelessness continue to be a serious problem for many individuals and families in El Paso County, and are striving to address that need. And whereas the National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week signals our collective commitment to end hunger and homelessness in El Paso County. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court that the week of November 10th through 18th, 2018 be dedicated as National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week, signed this 5th day of November 2018 by the honorable members of the El Paso County Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Betsy's over there. I want to thank y'all for inviting us here today for this proclamation and for supporting the coalition and its many partners in addressing this very pressing issue. Tonight, approximately 875 people in El Paso County will sleep in a shelter, on the street, or another place not meant for human habitation. Of this, 24% are children and 12% are veterans. Tonight, 1 in 4 children in our community will go to bed hungry as they live in an insecure home. We are honored that the El Paso County has joined us to address these pressing issues head-on by proclaiming next week as National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week in El Paso County. As you read in the proclamation, this Awareness Week has been going on since 1975. It began at Villanova University. This is the first time in El Paso that all of our member agencies and partners have come together. Service providers, advocates, schools, those who are homeless or hungry, and are combining efforts for this Awareness Week, committed to one single mission: to prevent and end hunger and homelessness among El Pasoans. So I'm joined by multiple agencies who are striving to achieve these goals. The statistics you see behind me are from the Coalition's annual point in time from 2018. And as you can see, these numbers show the urgency in supporting these efforts to end hunger and homelessness in El Paso. Together, with common objectives, a shared vision, and a collaborative effort, we as a community can prevent and end hunger and homelessness among our neighbors. So I'd like to invite Bailey Island from the El Pasoans Fighting Hunger. She'll talk a little bit about food insecurity. And then I'm going to ask the committee to all introduce themselves and let you know who they represent. Ashley Lamel from the Coalition is going to give you a rundown of the events during Homeless Awareness Week. And then Mr. Bailey from the Opportunity Center Veterans TLC will share his story. So I welcome you to attend all of our events next week, and thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you all for recognizing this very critical issue that we together as a community face. My name is Bailey Island. I am the Fund Development Manager and Grant Writer at El Pasoans Fighting Hunger Food Bank. I want to begin by asking just a few questions. How many of y'all had breakfast this morning? How many of you plan to have lunch today? Dinner tonight? Have big plans for Thanksgiving later this month? Well, we are the lucky ones. In El Paso, hunger does not discriminate. 1 in 4 children go to bed hungry every night. Many of our city and county schools have high numbers of economically disadvantaged students who are on either the reduced price or free breakfast and lunch. For many of them, that is their only solid meal for the day. For the week, on the weekends, they go hungry. 33% of our senior citizens are on the SNAP or food stamps assistance, and many of our veterans and we have homeless people in the city who go to bed hungry as well. El Pasoans Fighting Hunger is El Paso's only food bank, and our mission is to combat the hunger crisis across not only our county, but also Hudspeth and Culberson County as well. We are a partner member of Feeding America, which is the nation's largest food charity. And in 2016, their meal gap statistics stated that we are serving over 91,000 food insecure individuals in El Paso. We know that this number is not accurate. It's much higher than that. A quarter of El Paso is living beneath the poverty line, and thus also food insecure. And so we are doing everything we can to help eliminate this critical problem in El Paso. We have over 187 client choice mobile pantries. These are where we load up our food trucks, and we used to just pack food together in boxes, go out there in unserved or underserved communities where they don't have access to grocery stores, and pass out boxes of food. We've changed it up this year. We wanted to add a sense of dignity in the process, so our clients are now able to shop for their food, and so they can choose whether they like green beans versus potatoes, or if they have a specific allergy, they can steer away from those foods. We know that asking for something as basic as food can be quite a humbling experience, and we want to be able to allow some sort of dignity and sense of ownership in the process. We've also partnered up with over 125 partner agencies. These are your soup kitchens, senior citizen areas. We have 14 school pantries. So we're doing our part to pool all of our resources together as a community to address this issue, and it means so much for us to have you jump on board and help raise an awareness as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you for being here this morning. Morning.
Good morning, Judge and County Commissioners. I want to thank you, first of all, for allowing us to be here today and share with you the work that the community is doing in order to end hunger and homelessness here in El Paso, Texas. I wanted to give you just a brief rundown of the events that we do have scheduled starting November 10th through the 18th. On November 12th, which is Veterans Day, you, along with the community, are welcome to join us at the county's office as well as the El Paso Coalition for the Homeless for a tour. And the reason why we're doing tours is so that the community can see the social services that are available to those who are food insecure, who are homeless, who are at risk of becoming homeless. So on November 12th, next Monday, we will have agency tours taking place at the El Paso Coalition for the Homeless as well as the county. Then on November the 13th, which is next Tuesday, you are more than welcome to tour agencies that serve those who are families and individuals who are homeless. And this will include Villa Maria, La Posada Home, Salvation Army, Willie Sanchez Rosales Family Center. And so on that Tuesday, you, along with the community, are more than welcome to go to these agencies and see what it is that they do in order to serve those who are homeless and or food secure. Then on Wednesday, November the 14th, we will have tours of agencies who serve the youth. We know that youth homelessness is a critical component of El Paso, and we just don't have enough agencies that do provide assistance to not just youth who are homeless, but those who are part of the LGBTQI community. And so you're more than welcome on that day to tour El Paso Center for Children as well as Winchester House. They serve youth between the ages of 18 to 24 who are males. Then on Thursday, which is November the 15th, an agency tour will take place at American GI Forum. And you guys may be aware of this agency. What they do is they serve veterans, their families, their dependents who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless, and also those who are unemployed. And they just don't serve veterans. Many people are not also aware that they have an employment program that is not only if you're a veteran, but if you're homeless and you don't have a job, you can also access their services. Other services they offer are support. They offer bus passes. They do a lot of work with Texas Veterans Commission. They do a lot of work with the workforce. And so sometimes when people think of American GI Forum, they forget that not only do they serve veterans, their families, their dependents, but they also serve those who are unemployed and also homeless. Then on Friday, November the 16th, you're more than welcome to tour El Paso's Fighting Hunger Food Bank. And so a lot of people don't know how the food bank is so important here in El Paso. And so like Bailey was stating, 1 in 4 children go to bed hungry. And so this is an opportunity to not only for you to tour their agency, but also volunteer your services. Go there, participate with them, packaging up food, packaging up the food boxes. Go with them to serve the community. And then finally on Saturday, November the 17th, we will all be at Memorial Reserve. It's a gated park community located off of Copper and Copia, 3100 Copper Avenue. We'll be there from 8 to 12. We have social service agencies. We have food agencies. We have healthcare providers that will be at Memorial Reserve to serve those who are homeless and or food insecure. And so what we're offering is free health screenings. What we're offering is food, not just, okay, here's a flu shot, but here is something tangible that you can take back home with you. And not just your home. A lot of times we give out items that they won't be able to use, but we want to make sure at this event, as we're ending National Homelessness and Hunger Awareness Week, that we also provide them with something they can take home with them. And so that home may be a shelter, that home may be a transitional living center, that home may be, Gateway East, Gateway West. But we just don't want to provide the health services. We also want to provide them with the social services to let them know that if you're in need, if you're homeless, if you're a youth, if you're facing eviction, if you're facing, if you don't know how you're going to get your tooth pulled, there are nonprofit agencies, social service agencies, health agencies that can provide these services free of charge. And so that's what we're there for. And so I welcome you commissioners, I welcome you county judge to participate in these events that are taking place. And I just thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you for being here this morning. Was there anyone else who was going to speak?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Larry Bailey. I'm a 6-year veteran of the United States Marine Corps. I currently reside at the VTLC Veterans Transitional Living Center. Earlier this year, I became homeless because of my medical problems. I couldn't work, and I've lost my apartment and got evicted. And the VTLC took me in right away, and they've helped me out tremendously with dental and getting a birth certificate and ID and all that stuff. And I just can't say enough about the VTLC and the other homeless programs. I've also been helped out by the GI Forum. And a lot of my medical problems are because of my time in the Marine Corps. And knowing everything that I know now, I would do it again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your service to our country and for being brave enough to share your story with us. I appreciate it. Thank you. Would everyone like to introduce themselves?
Just going to test. It works. Okay. My name is Luis Carlos Terrazas. I'm with El Paso Human Services, Inc., also the Winchester House Emergency Shelter. And I thank you, commissioners and judge, for this time and for the recognition. My shelter houses 18 to 24-year-old young men. So whatever we can do to help the community, that's what we're there for. Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Good morning.
Good morning, commissioners. Thank you for your time today. I am Everett Salcedo, and I'm an attorney and the director of the Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid Legal Clinic for the Homeless.
Luis Reza with Winchester House. I want to thank you again for your time. Thank you very much.
Morning, Your Honor, Commissioners. My name is Emmanuel McConnell. Street outreach is my main thing that I do out here in El Paso to homeless veterans and to other individuals that are looking for work and whatnot. And again, thank you, and with all due respect, please continue to push.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here.
Morning, my name is Elizabeth Bidner, and I'm with the El Paso Center for Children. We do serve the youth between ages 10 to 24. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Bianca Castrejon with the El Paso Center for Children. I'm with our Rapid Rehousing Program, and we provide housing options for our homeless youth in El Paso.
Thank you.
My advocacy, I'm Bill Sparks, and my advocacy for veterans has taken me to a wider picture of homelessness in our community. I now sit as a board member on the continuum of care. You should know the things that are missing in El Paso for people in need: time and money. They do not have time to go through a long process to be evaluated, and we have no hard dollars. All the money in the community for homeless and homeless prevention come in as transfer dollars. Your housing authority has taken a bold step and gotten HUD-VASH, which are Housing and Urban Development, Veterans Affairs Supportive Housing Vouchers. All we had to do was ask, what's the problem in the county? And boom, your new director went out and got those VASH vouchers, similar to what the city does, and he's increased it from 10 to 20. So you should be proud of that. But as a community, we do not have enough shelters for women, women with children, or family shelters. We need to work on these problems. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Morning.
Morning.
I am a volunteer. I am with the Opportunity Center for the Homeless, and I work with chronically homeless. Right now, our rapid rehousing program will be accessible to only chronically homeless, meaning a year or more, which some of our participants have been there at least 13 years. Can you imagine living 13 years at a shelter? Thank you.
Thank you all so much for being here, and it's great to see the collaboration that's taking place. And El Paso County is incredibly proud to be a part of the collaborative effort that we're all taking into account as we try to solve this issue for our community, or at least work toward a much better situation for everybody. So thank you all so much for the work that you do. Thank you.
Oop. Is there people for that, Judge? Hour on resolutions.
Item number 5, public comment.
We do have one member of the public signed up to speak, and that is Mr. Pierre-Andre Uzarga. Good morning, Mr. Uzarga.
Morning, Your Honor. Commissioners, good morning. I always have fun at these meetings because I'll learn a great deal. I always stress that, I come from the school of hard knocks. I like to get my hands on things and learn that way. And if I can get a mentorship or get a book to educate myself on what it is I'm doing, food for thought, knowledge is power. So I always enjoy sitting back here because I get to learn about the different mentalities, different groups, different mindsets. And one of the things that I've noticed is not enough unification. Right now we're in a really, really unique time because there's a lot of butterflies going on. Oh, who's going to win the Democratic Party here? Who's going to win the Republican Party there? I was watching TV a little bit yesterday and during the football games, and Dan, you run into all sorts of ads, blue bloods versus Democrats versus the Republicans and what have you. It's a lot like street gang stuff. And as I'm sitting back here and I'm watching and listening, I'm thinking, man, we should criminalize political parties. And at the next elections, vote for the best American, the best New Mexican, the best Texan, the best New Yorkan, because we're economically, as a country, we could be doing better if we unified ourselves, if we aligned the economy. If you promote the country and everything that the country stands for, and I don't think I have to go over that list, but if we can do that, Your Honor, and fellow commissioners, we can represent El Paso in a way that's never been done before. And I want to say that no matter what happens after tomorrow, I'm going to be here next week and the week after that to represent El Paso and people of all sorts. I consume heavily, and I talk about health before wealth. I'm always putting my health first so that I get a better understanding of the wealth in the country, in the world. And I'm here to say that unification, I think, like Donald Trump, if I were him, and I caught that, I would say, you know what, I have to unify myself with Hillary. Hillary, you know what, forget what happened. What can we do to unify the country? What can we do to unify the Democrats with the Republicans? Because if we can do that, now we're Americans. We're true Americans. Italian Americans, Mexican Americans, African Americans, Cuban Americans. All that has a common word, American. Right? And a lot of groups here in America have their liberties, they have their justice, but the cannabis community right here, not so much yet. And if you can Google marijuana deals, you're going to come across a long list of murders. Kids that are outmaneuvering some of the law enforcement community. And they kind of laugh at and I'm watching this, right? I don't participate, but I'm watching kids laugh at the law enforcement community because law enforcement has Republicans and Republicans. And we're watching, well, who do we depend on? Like, is it the Republican cops or the Democratic cops? I thought we were all Americans. So I'm just trying to call on an American police officer, you know, and to better regulate the streets, the businesses, the nonprofits, the governmental departments. Legalize cannabis. The Cannabis and Organics Act represents one nation under God. And it also creates another food group. We have the 4 food groups. There's a 5th. You're looking at peyote. You're looking at cannabis, mushrooms, kratom, cat, poppies. Those are all psychoactive organics, if you will. But they're organics. And they lie in their own group within itself. And if Americans can learn to educate, and this is the thing, Emerald Star Global has an educational program, but I mean, the help with the legislation, I can get that educational information out so that we can begin to practice the education. And what I want to say is, if we can learn to care for ourselves, if I'm a caregiver and a veteran comes in closing, I can let the veteran practice on that 6th group, and I don't have to consume. As a caregiver, I could just watch and make sure that the veteran is improving his or her health after serving this great country. And in closing, next week, God bless us all. We're all Americans, and thank you for yours, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Yulaga. Have a very good day. Thanks for being here. I believe that is it for public comment, unless there is someone in the audience who would like to speak. Okay. If we could go ahead and take those 3 items that were pulled from consent, M, N, and O, please.
Item 3M, approve and authorize the county judge to sign the video production and distribution services contract with Spectrum Reach for the production of a 30-second heritage tourism commercial and 1 month of digital and cable broadcasting in the amount of $8,250. Funding has been allocated through the hotel occupancy tax, contract number 2018-0795.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Valerie Venecia, Heritage Tourism Coordinator for Economic Development.
Thank you for being here this morning. The reason I pulled this out of the consent agenda, this is exactly what we're trying to publicize. We have a gem. It's a historic gem that we have in Mission Trail. And although I did go through the backup, and all of us here did too, I wanted you or somebody from your office to be able to talk about exactly what we're doing to advertise what we're doing over at Mission Trail. So thank you very much for being here.
I appreciate that opportunity. It's been quite an ongoing project that I came into in the middle with beginning my position here in February. And so this television commercial, which will be broadcast outside of the region on cable commercials and also digitally through social media and organic internet searches. Basically, when I started my position, I was told that there was funding available through the HOT Fund to promote some of our assets, and we worked very hard on putting this commercial together. I hope that this will be just the first in an ongoing series. There's lots of different opportunities for promotion, but given that we are just kicking off the Mission Trail Comprehensive master plan study, it's perfect timing. We have the public charrette next week, and so we hope to showcase the video to the community who are in attendance and offer input during those different stakeholder meetings, which you've all been invited to, and we hope that you'll join us as well. Would you like me to go through the presentation, or can we show the video?
Whatever you want to share with the public.
Unless you have any questions about the contract itself, I'd love an opportunity to show the video. I think our ITD staff had uploaded the MP4 file. Hopefully there's
a certain kind of richness to where we live, with monuments that stand tall, filled with song and dance. What transpired the world before exists in the world experienced today. We capture every moment to share our memories and indulge on what we call culture. Begin your journey here at the Mission Valley Visitor Center. Our transit will help take you and your family all along the historic Mission Trail. Plan your trip today and give your family the experience of what it truly means to embrace El Paso heritage.
This is the first time I see that, and this is exactly what I wanted to bring forward, and I just didn't want it to be buried in our consent agenda. Thank you.
I greatly appreciate that very much. This is also perfect timing now that we have the new website that's just coming out, so we'll be able to update all of the different museum hours of operation. We wanted to incorporate the Public Works transit system. I know that they worked really hard with TxDOT in getting that tourist route established to take visitors throughout the whole area. So I hope that it gave justice to showcasing all the different elements. There's a little bit of the petting zoo at Licon Dairies, of course, all of our three, the Presidio in San Elizario, the Isleta Mission, and the Socorro Mission. There's a little shot of the Cultural Historic District in San Elizario and the Los Portales Museum and the Old County Jail. So in a quick 30 seconds, we tried to capture the overall experience that can be achieved by visiting the area, and hope that this will drive some excitement as we put together the comprehensive master plan and really help build up the area.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Commissioner, for pulling the item. I had the chance to meet last week very briefly with the Dover Coal partners who have been hired to work on the comprehensive master plan of the Mission Trail. And they have previous experience in El Paso. They worked on Plan El Paso for the city of El Paso. And so they were here for quite some time. And I think they're excited to be back and work specifically on this incredible asset of ours, the Mission Trail. And so I was wondering, for those that are listening, the public media, the dates for the public charrettes.
It's November 13th through the 16th, and the way that it's going to work is in the evening on the first night from 7 to 9 p.m., and the whole entire charrette is to take place at the Isleta del Sur Pueblo Tribal Courthouse. They have a state-of-the-art facility, a wide open space that we can use to set up display boards during stakeholder meetings that will be held throughout the week during the day. And then at the final public meeting on Friday, we'll basically be showcasing all of the different plans that they'll come up, preliminary plans, I should say, that will be derived from all of the different stakeholder input, resident input during the public meetings. And then from that final public meeting, they'll start producing the draft and move forward from there. We anticipate them presenting to Commissioners Court in the springtime to review the draft and before any revisions are made and it's adopted.
And what time are those meetings?
So the first public meeting on Tuesday the 13th will be from 7 to 9 p.m. And then on Friday, the follow-up public meeting will be from 6 to 8 p.m. And the stakeholder meetings will be during, you'll probably see quite a few different invitations for all the different topics. There's a UNESCO Heritage Tourism meeting that'll be held. Meetings with transportation, which Mr. Sal Alonso has been really helpful in providing the consultants with all kinds of information as to what's being done now. There's going to be a housing and urban development meeting, environmental and health with all the different trails. We've invited the Paso del Norte Health Foundation to provide information as to the trails that are currently underway and and soon to be launched. So we hope that it's a very well-rounded a group of stakeholder meetings so that everybody has a chance, both residents and constituents and key collaborators with giving input, and that the plan itself is accurately representative of what the community would like to see.
Excellent. Great clip. Having said all that, make a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 3N, approve and authorize the county judge to sign the Historic Site Tourist Promotion and Preservation Services Agreement with the San Elizario Genealogy and Historical Society, a Texas nonprofit corporation, for the tourist promotion of the historic Los Portales Museum and Old County Jail located in San Elizario, Texas, for $42,188 from October 1st, 2018 through September 30th, 2019. Funding is available in Special Revenue Tourist Promotion Los Portales, contract number 2018-0705.
I pulled this item not because I have an issue with the item, because I want to remind all agencies and everybody out there that we need to get these items on the agenda more timely. This is started October 1st, 2018 through September 30, 2019, and since we're already in November, it's frustrating to vote on an item that's already been a month in play. And that is my frustration, and also my frustration of the next item that I've pulled. It's just we've said it before, and we need to keep saying it. We've got to get these agenda items on there more timely, and it needs to be said.
I understand your frustration, Commissioner Haggerty. I myself went through quite a lengthy process. Believe it or not, we've been working on this renewal since early July. And if I can just offer some information as to why things took so long this time around, in spite of beginning the process so early in the game. So we were notified at the time of putting together the renewal package of quite a few extensive repairs that were needed. And so there was quite a bit of investigation that had to take place with regards to whether we requested an increase in budget. Thankfully, we didn't have to do that. Public Works was able to under the wing of our superintendent, Mr. Rene Garcia, he's now helping with bidding out and putting together the different repairs. And then there was quite a few new items that were requested of the contractor, of the organization, and unfortunately we didn't receive some of that documentation until just last week. I have quite a few emails and examples that were provided with regards to the organizational budget, and we were successful in finally obtaining that last piece of information to move forward. And I do want to thank our legal department with their patience and guidance in helping bring, this is a nonprofit that has been in operation for quite some time, but we really want to be as proactive as possible with the new requirements that we're having. We changed also some of the reporting, and so there was a little bit of onboarding process with explaining these new processes to the organization, and so that's why we're at where we're at right now.
I understand. Like I said, I have nothing against the contract. I've gone through that. My only fear is if we say no, we're already a month into the contract, and that's the frustration that we've got. So
understood.
And this is something, if we don't talk about it, we'll see more and more and more of them coming in late. So it's just something that every once in a while we have to bring
Understood.
up in mind. So.
I've recommended for next year that we start even in March. There were actually quite a few concerns with this agreement. I know one thing that they're looking at requesting for next year is an increase in staff. But again, with the timeliness and the delays that we were already underway and the budget's already been set for the year, we opted to go ahead and continue as such.
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Item 3O, approve and authorize the county judge to sign the memorandum of agreement between El Paso Community College and El Paso County Juvenile Probation Department by and through El Paso County in the amount of $4,572 from September 1st, 2018 through August 31st, 2019. Funding is available in general funds, JPD Professional Services General, contract number 2018-0214.
Exact same problem with this one as the last one. I have nothing against the contract, just the fact that it started September 1st and we're voting it on November 5th is my only frustration.
Judge, Commissioners, and I completely understand, Commissioner Haggerty, I'm sure our General Counsel can give you a more technical description. It fell into the legal nebula. It is the first contract of its kind for us with EPCC. We have an ongoing contract with the University of Texas at El Paso. It appears that there were some legal requirements on both sides that were just new to us. I don't know if Ms. Anderson would like to add to that.
Judge and Commissioners, Kathleen Anderson, Assistant County Attorney. You may notice that the version that's uploaded into Cobblestone has already been approved by the Community College and their board, and that was the delay. We have not started an intern, so actually the contract is going to be beginning whenever that individual goes through our background check process, and so actually we'll spend less money. It'll be $4,000 instead of, I think, the $4,700. It was just a question of, again, the delay was on the second parties, on their side. And just so you understand, this was an intern opportunity, and the intern will earn, there's like a match. So we're actually paying $7.62 an hour, and the term was designed to coincide with the school year. So in this case, we have not actually started an intern, so they wouldn't be starting until after you approve the contract.
And again, my only issue is that, and I understand there's difficulties with the new contracts, but the fact that it's 2 months old is the frustration. So move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Item number 6, Public Works, with the correction per the County Auditor's Department. Approve and authorize the Public Works Department to use the taxable certificate of obligation bond series 2016C proceeds to paint, replace the roof, and add an HVAC, heating, ventilating, and air conditioning system to the Fabens Airport hangar in the amount of $141,517.40. Funding is available in capital project Fabens Airport cap-out renovations.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Norma Palacios with the Public Works Department. Our hangar is over 30 years old, and today, with a lot of need for repairs and updates, today we are requesting the court's authorization to make a few repairs, such as painting the outside of the hangar, replace the metal roof, and add an HVAC system at an approximate cost of $142,000. Any questions I can answer from the court?
Go ahead, Commissioner.
What are the remaining bond funds that we have for the 2016 refinancing?
Have approximately, for the airport, I believe we have approximately $2.1 million. And this will, we have this, and then we also have some ramp funding as well.
Just one clarification on the title. Our concern was the proceeds are not the refinancing proceeds. The refinancing was to refund some other bonds. The actual title of the fund is Texas Taxable Certificate of Obligation Bonds Series 2016C, but they're not the proceeds from the refinancing.
And I want to be clear that the 2016C is the 2.1. We did two issuances at that time, 2016C and 2016D. D is for technology, but this particular one is just over 2.1 million.
Commissioner Leon?
I just had, Norma, is this going to be bid out?
Yes, sir.
The entire job, the
If
painting?
we can go through a co-op, we would go through a co-op. We do have quotes that we've obtained, but because it exceeds the $50,000, some of it might have to be bid out, such as the HVAC system.
It will all go through the purchasing process. Now, purchasing sometimes recommends co-ops versus an open bid.
Okay, I was just making certain that we're not going to do all this work in-house.
No, sir.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Commissioners? No? Okay. I'd move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 7, approve and authorize the Public Works Department to conduct 4 community cleanups every other month for 4 months from February 2019 through August 2019 in the approximate amount of $38,300 per month. Funding is available in General Fund, Road and Bridge General Fund, Stormwater Outreach, and General Fund, General Administrative Operations Contingencies.
For the record, Norma Palacios with the Public Works Department. The purpose of this effort is to provide community drop-off sites for county residents to dispose of household trash, used tires, used oil, and household hazardous waste. This will promote clean neighborhoods, reduce illegal dumping, and support El Paso County Strategic Plan number 4, which is a vibrant community. We currently have biannual community cleanups, 4 in the spring and 4 in the fall. We have them at 4 locations in the county. Those locations consist of our Montana warehouse, the county's Montana warehouse, County Fabens warehouse, Westway, and the Canutillo, which in Canutillo we use the Gallegos Park. The total cost for the 4 cleanups per season averages about $38,300. That includes the disposal of tires, household trash, household hazardous waste, labor, equipment, and fuel. Today I'm proposing an operation that would consist of having a facility, having 8 additional cleanups for fiscal year 2019. We would have each site every other month starting in February, so that means we would have a cleanup in 4 cleanups in February, 4 cleanups in April, 4 cleanups in June, and 4 cleanups in August. So that's an additional 8 cleanups. The operational hours would be from 8 to 12 p.m. We would use existing staff, and they would be paid overtime. We would contract with vendors for the services of the waste disposal, tire disposal, and household hazardous waste. Oh, yes. I apologize for that. This map depicts the proposed sites. There is some regulations which we must abide by. We are familiar with the process and prepared to handle those should the court approve these additional cleanups. As mentioned earlier, the proposed operating cost would be $38,300 a month. That's an estimate. Something that we've seen recently is that we have less cost for the cleanups, and that's due to the fact that we attribute that to us having more cleanups than in the past. Our cleanups started in 2009, and we only had 2 cleanups, one in the Fabens warehouse and one at the Westway. Since now we're having about 8, so we've seen less cost associated with the disposal of the waste. Any questions I can answer?
Back to the proposed operation. I think that really helps tell them what we're proposing to do. And before if the court has any questions, I would like just to mention, as Norma mentioned, the more I think that we offer these opportunities to our residents to have the ability to use our dumps, the less likely we are to have our staff having to do cleanups out in unincorporated areas. This last year, there was a road we needed to put in, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we spent over $30,000 doing cleanup of tires before we could do that road. And so by offering these options for people to bring it to us in an organized location on a regular basis, I think it's going to impact us positively in other ways as well. And I just want the court to be aware that right now, those are the types of things we're facing that we're trying to use these to proactively avoid.
Go ahead, Commissioner Haggerty.
I've worked every cleanup on the west side for the last 4 years, and I've definitely seen a difference from the first year to this last year. My only fear is having 4 in a month is going to put a strain on some of the public works guys actually doing the work. And overtime rather than flex pay is definitely going to help, but if you know you're working every Saturday, and I know it's half for each, but.
And so what I'm proposing is every other month. So for example, in February, we would have a cleanup. The first Saturday of the month, we would have it at Gallegos Park and in East Montana. The last Saturday of the month, we would have it at Westway and at Fabens. And it would be every other month, not every month.
Okay, so
they would be working a Saturday, correct, Norma? So the Gallego, or the different crews, obviously, too.
Exactly.
So we would have 2 crews out the first Saturday and a different 2 crews out the last Saturday, or one crew would have a duplicate Saturday?
No, it would be another crew. Since what we're proposing is the Gallegos Park and the East Montana, we would have crews from the Canutillo warehouse working the Gallegos Park and crews from East Montana working the East Montana. That way it's not every Saturday, and it also allows the people that are in the Upper Valley, if they didn't make it to the first cleanup, they can attend the last cleanup of the month, which would be held at Westway. Or, for example, if they don't go to the Montana, they can go to the Fabens.
So the only crew that would be working 2 Saturdays, 2 Saturdays 1 month, no Saturdays for the next month, would be the Canutillo warehouse.
Yes, and something that we thought we'd leave it open and ask for volunteers first. And so that way, because I know that they're interested in being paid overtime, so we would want to give them the opportunity to volunteer first.
I do have 2 quick questions. Is any of this being subsidized by the money that comes in from the COG, or has that money depleted?
Okay, we applied for another grant, and we are hoping to get a response next month. And so we feel that we might get some of those funds, and so it would be subsidized using those funds.
The council governments?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, almost all of the funds were approved by the council governments. So.
And then is this coupled at all with any community cleanups that are actually going out to the desert? So I know that our big push is to get people to come in to drop off their household hazardous waste and the tires, but I know in the past we've also had some folks go out into the desert, like sheriff's folks, who could help pick up what exists. Is that also going to be happening?
So we will contact the sheriff's department. As time allows, they have volunteered and come in and helped us. They were at the Westway cleanup last month.
They brought in 6 truckloads full of tires and mattresses from the Arroyos. So they did a fantastic job.
Excellent. And they had limited resources that day. They really did do a great job.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, we see, the Commissioner, I've been out there with you a couple of times, and to some of the ones on the east side, and the lines can be tremendous at times, and there's a definite need for people to drop off their items. So I'm hoping that this will only help, again, reduce that amount.
We get approximately 400 cars every season.
Every event.
Approximately 40 tons of household trash, and about 2,000 tires.
Commissioner Perez.
Thank you, Norma. Is it possible that we could explore a site that's in between Montana and Fabens? Because the folks, I mean, now with all the housing there in the center, just east of 375, that the borders my precinct and Commissioner Leon's precinct, I think is probably our emerging population center, where we probably have more folks there than what we have in Montana Vista and Fabens combined. I don't know if the municipal utility districts there provide community cleanups. I don't know if you're aware of any, but what are the chances of us trying to explore a site that's more centrally located around I-10 and 375?
We can. The county has what we call a Rocio yard. It's basically just a yard, but we feel that we can have some of the cleanups there. If the court chooses to, we can allocate funds to have one and on a trial basis, or come back, see how this fiscal year goes, and include the El Rocio yard, which is like the Agua Dulce subdivision around that area. So it's midway between Fabens and East Montana.
Are we able to explore anything closer to 375? Because I don't know if all those residents there that are now part of a municipal utility district have access to community cleanups.
Are you like maybe on are you thinking maybe possibly on the 77 acres we own?
We could
Is
do
that a
too.
location?
Yeah, that's actually very centrally located. It's just that there's so many folks there. I mean, I'd be curious to see how a community cleanup would perform there. And they all do live in a municipal utility district that is responsible for their trash pickup, but I just don't know if there's any sort of community cleanups. And there is a lot of concern for illegal dumping in that area because of the new construction that's going on there. It's maybe an area that
We can definitely explore other options.
And bring back a proposal to add.
Yeah, I mean, if we could do it this fiscal year, that'd be ideal, just to kind of, even if it's just one at some point during the year, just to test it out, but.
We can definitely bring back the proposal on how much it would cost to do one there, and work with budget to identify funding for it.
The only thing I would like to, if the court agrees to this, is that we move forward with this, because I do need to make arrangements with TCEQ so that we can collect household hazardous waste. And so that's the only, but we can schedule something, identify other locations, and bring back a proposal. And that would give us ample time to negotiate with TCEQ so that we can have those later on during the fiscal year.
Thank you.
Is that okay, Commissioner? Yeah, okay. So I would, if there are no other questions, Commissioners, I'd move to approve item 7.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 8, discuss and take appropriate action for a variance request from the County of El Paso subdivision regulations for Painted Desert and Mission Ridge 3.
Morning, Judge and Commissioners. Lucero Neros with the Planning and Development Department. This variance request before you is a property located on the northeast corner of the intersection of Darrington and Paseo del Este in Precinct 3. The request does meet the county's 2014 alternative design standards. It includes reducing the right-of-way of the roads from 60 feet to 54 feet. All of the 51 proposed residential lots exceed 6,000 square feet, and as such, there's no parkland requirement. With that, Planning and Development recommends approval of the variance request in accordance with the county's subdivision order and the 2014 alternative design standards. I'll take any questions.
Commissioners? Any questions? Commissioner Leon?
Jose, on the 54 feet, is that enough space for emergency vehicles?
Yes, Commissioner. The city of El Paso actually utilizes 52 feet. The additional 2 feet that the county requires on the pavement, we require 34 feet of pavement on our roads. That has been coordinated with the emergency service districts to ensure that their equipment have adequate space to move freely within the subdivision in case of emergency, given that the equipment utilized by the ESD is slightly larger than what's utilized by El Paso Fire.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Bettis?
What are the size of the setbacks on the sides of the home?
The setbacks on the sides are 5 feet, and that's in accordance with the 2009 International Fire Code. If the property is abutting a roadway, for example, if you look closely at this, well, it's hard to, it doesn't come out on TV, but north of the, a hand magically appeared. It's a little bit to the left, right there. That lot's where the hand right above it. Because it is abutting a side street, it does require a 10-foot side setback just to ensure that the home is located a little bit farther away. The side setbacks are 5 feet otherwise, and then 20 in the front and 20 in the back.
Any other questions, Commissioners? Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 9, discuss and take appropriate action for a variance request from the County of El Paso subdivision regulations for painted sky at Mission Ridge 3.
Almost looks like a T-Rex.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Jose Londeros with the Planning and Development Department. If IT could bring up the actual plat map that has the color. This subdivision is located north of the intersection of Paseo del Este and Emerald Park Drive in the Mission Ridge community. This also is requesting to reduce the size of the lots, the size of the roadways, and everything is in compliance and does meet the 2014 county alternative design standards. There are 322 total residential lots. 149 of those are what are considered to be non-standard lots, which means those are the lots that require the dedication of a park. As such, the landowner has proposed 1.5 acres of parkland. You can see it there on the plat map in green. In addition, in the map that is being displayed right now, if you look at the top left corner, something that the developer is introducing in this subdivision that we've not seen before at the county are the introduction of cul-de-sac islands. These are introduced to ensure that there is adequate fire response in cul-de-sacs. Without the use of islands such as these, oftentimes during events, when someone may have a party or something like that, parking in a cul-de-sac becomes problematic and emergency access becomes problematic. So this will actually allow for a certain number of parking spaces within the cul-de-sac, but the remaining area will actually be a fire lane to ensure that we always have, that fire crews always have access to the area. The installation of the island has been coordinated with the Infrastructure Services Department, who have requested that the island's parking spaces actually have utilize concrete instead of asphalt, just to ensure that the wear and tear and the maintenance is less. The maintenance is less on the county. Additionally, the landscaping that is included in the entire subdivision, along with the parks, will be completely maintained by the Paseo del Este mud. As such, Planning and Development recommends approval of the variance request in accordance with the county subdivision standards and the alternative design standards adopted in 2014. Happy to take any questions.
What are the size of the streets within?
54 feet as well. Yes, sir.
Move to approve.
Any questions, Commissioner Bettis?
Again, can you give the breakdown of the size of the lots?
Yes, could you zoom in on the top right corner just so we can see that a little bit?
Enhance.
A little bit more to the right. Yeah, it's going to be right on the edge and just a bit down. So you can see here that over half of the lots are over 6,000 square feet. The county's minimum standard for a typical subdivision is 6,000 square feet. Any deviation below that requires the developer to begin to introduce amenities such as parks, sidewalks, landscape medians. You can see here, though, that over half of them are over 6,000 square feet. There are only 5 that range between the smallest lot size that the county allows, which is between 4,700 square feet and 4,999 square feet, and the remaining 150 fall between 5,000 and 6,000 square feet.
Are we giving any thought to the percentage of lots that I guess that is acceptable to us to fall outside of the county standards? I mean, so in this case, if we have 46% of lots that really don't conform to the county standards, I mean, is that the number where we want to be, or should we be striving for, something like a 75% compliance with, our lot sizes at the county? Because a lot of these, when I go out there, I see a lot of these houses that are just very close together, and I know that our design standards in 2014 was intended to alleviate that, and I know it's provided at least a good compromise, and it certainly has resulted in better development, but with the number of lots that I guess are projected to go to this area is 46% high, for having not being in compliance with the county's rate.
Well, the 2014 design standards do place minimum and maximum percentages on each category of lot size, so it does require that, the majority of the subdivisions still be in compliance with the minimum lot standard, the minimum lot size of 6,000 square feet. But as we move forward this coming year in redeveloping our subdivision order and our design standards for our subdivisions, if that's something that the court wanted to modify and require and allow for less, allow for smaller lots, or allow for less smaller lots rather per subdivision, that's certainly something that could be amended in the design standards. But at this time, these are the standards that were adopted by the court in 14. Ultimately, the breakdown that we see typically when we have subdivisions coming in this size usually yields an average lot size of about 5,400 square feet, which is typically the average lot size in the city of El Paso, which was the basis for adopting that breakdown between the various lot sizes. Previously, prior to the standards being in place, there were subdivisions that were coming in 4,500 square foot lots all across the subdivision. So the standards do allow for a diversity of lot size, but again, if that was something that the court wanted the department to revisit, it's something that we could definitely capture in the update that we are moving forward with to the county subdivision order in the next few months.
I mean, now that we've had a couple of years of this revised subdivision order in 2014, I think we probably are in a better position now to evaluate, what impact it's had on development and the products that have been developed out there in the Far East. But I would like to explore just what it would mean if we were to, have fewer lots that really come in with very small lot sizes. A lot of these neighborhoods are just very crowded with cars that park on the street. And I don't know if having a 46% rate, which homes aren't really complying with the county's standards, if that leads to long-term sustainable neighborhoods, it might. I just would like more information on that.
Yes, Commissioner, we're happy to work on what we can do is we can evaluate the past subdivisions we've had, see where the typical breakdown has been, and then provide that information to the court. And then as we move forward with our subdivision order update, we can see if, we can definitely incorporate that, ask our consultant to look at the analysis and make any recommendations to the changes. And ultimately, all those updates to the order would have to come back before the Commissioner's Court. And so we hope to move forward with that process in the next couple of months. And we've already begun working with purchasing on the RFP process.
Any questions?
There's a motion.
Was that all, Commissioner? Okay.
There's a motion on the floor.
Okay, I'll second that.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Have a good afternoon.
Item number 10, purchasing. Approve the award of RFP 18022, promotional testing services for the County Human Resources Department to administer law enforcement promotional testing for the Sheriff's Office to CPS HR Consulting of Sacramento, California. Purchasing approved recommendation on October 24, 2018. Funding is available in General Fund, HR Contract Services General.
Good morning.
Good morning, Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. In this case, we are asking for approval of the results of an RFP for promotional testing services. The negotiations have been done. The best and final was accepted. That is included. The pricing is included in your package. And if you have questions about the promotional testing itself, we do have a representative from HR, but I'm here to answer any questions about the purchasing process.
Questions, Commissioners?
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 11, approve and authorize the purchase of a county active directory migration for the Information Technology Department using the Department of Information Resources contract number DIR TSO 4160 awarded to SQL Data Systems, Inc. of Austin, Texas in the amount of $754,712. Purchasing approved on October 24, 2018. Funding is available in Capital Project Capital 16D Cap Out IT Equipment.
Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. In this case, we're requesting award on behalf of IT to the State Department of Information Resources Cooperative Program for the to Data Systems of Austin, Texas. And we do have a representative from IT in the room if you need to ask questions about that project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 12, approve and authorize the purchase of 12 Police Interceptor Utility SUV all-wheel drive patrol vehicles, 10 sheriffs and 2 constables for the County of El Paso using Buy Board Cooperative Contract Number 52116, awarded to Silsby Ford of Silsby, Texas, in the total amount of $364,080. Purchasing approved on October 24th, 2018. Funding is available in Capital Improvement Project 19, Sheriff's Office Patrol Vehicles, Capital Improvement Project 19, Constables 2 vehicles, Capital Improvement Project 19, Constable 5 vehicles.
Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. In this case, we are requesting use of a cooperative to take hold of a very good deal that was offered based on the types of cars we're ordering. And if you will approve this, we would like to go forward with the award. And I have a representative of Fleet here.
Mr. Staple.
Morning, Judge,
Good morning.
Commissioners. Hopeton Staple, Fleet Operations Director. Again, this is a deal for us to go directly to the cooperative. Not doing so, if this was to go out to bid, it would cost us an additional $6,000 per vehicle, totaling $72,000, which we could actually use to buy three or four sedans. So going directly to the cooperative in this case, it'll definitely save us a lot of money.
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Item number 13, grant applications. Approve the submission of county grant applications as listed and described. If awarded, all grant award agreements will be brought back to the Commissioners Court for final acceptance and approval. Approve and authorize the Public Defender's Office to submit the Texas Indigent Defense Commission 2019 Formula Grant Program application. Further, approve and authorize the county judge to sign the resolution as a requirement of the Indigent Defense Grant Program. There is no county match required.
Mr. Gandara. Good morning.
Commissioners, Betsy, we'd ask you to approve receiving the money, the formula grant money, and to approve application for the 2019 money, which pretty much is an ongoing process, but fairly straightforward and fairly simple.
And this is just for the submission of the grant, right? We're not accepting the funding.
This is for submission of the submission of the 2019 grant. Okay, now let me see. I thought maybe we were talking about accepting the 2018 money, but no, that's not up yet. Okay, that's just authorizing us to apply for the 2019 money.
Questions, Commissioners?
No grant match, move to approve. No county match, move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Item number 14, approve and authorize the county judge to sign the Texas Department of Transportation grant for routine airport maintenance program for improvements for airside and landside improvements at the Fabens Airport in the amount of $25,000 with a $25,000 county match. Contract number 2018-0666.
Good morning. Commissioners, Judge Sal Alonso from Planning Development. The item before you is our annual application for the routine airport maintenance program, otherwise known as RAMP. This is our 5th year drawing from the funds to help put SIG dollars into the airport. Grant is a 50-50 match. Grant has, in the last few years, the grant has helped us do some renovations and purchase some equipment at the airport. And just to name a few, this past year, as far as the renovation, the grant helped pay for the roof replacement at the FBO and our new Pilots Lounge. Helped purchase facility doors, windsocks, exterior paint, window replacement, exterior and interior painting. Also, we ended up repainting our beacon. And as far as equipment, we purchased a two-way radio. We fixed our poppy light systems. We purchased some fire extinguishers for the both the FBO and the Pilots Lounge. We were able to also purchase some exterior lighting and also purchase a new HVAC for the Pilots Lounge and the FBO's office. County Plan Development recommends approval. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Move to approve.
Okay. Just, I want to second that, but Sal, air side, does that mean stuff like the windsock?
Yes, sir.
Is that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second?
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Vogt?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
And great job with all the work that's being done in the renovations. I hear from several people in the community that have taken tours recently, and they say nothing but great things about how it looks and what's happening out there in the collaboration with UTEP. So thank you.
Thank you. And special thanks to our facilities maintenance who've done an extremely great job coordination with Sully and his staff that is always out there doing the little small jobs, which I think came out really nice. So thank you. Thank you.
Item number 15, approve and authorize the Veterans Assistance Department to apply for the fiscal year 2019 through 2020 Texas Veterans Commission Fund in the amount of $300,000 to provide rental and utility assistance to approximately 462 veterans, veterans dependents, and veteran surviving spouses in the El Paso County community. The grant period is for 1 year. There is no county match required.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor, Commissioners. We're here today Roland Hessler with Veterans Assistance and Efren Montalongo. We're here today to request permission to apply for the FY 2019 and 20 Veterans Fund Assistance amount of $300,000. As was mentioned, there is no match. This grant is provided by the Texas Veterans Commission and will be used to assist qualified veterans, dependents, and surviving spouses with rental and utilities assistance. It's the third year that we are applying for this grant. The previous 2 years, in 2017, we were awarded $100,000, and this year we were awarded $200,000, and we're currently administering that grant. In total, we've assisted more than 500 clients with emergency rental assistance and utilities. This is a service that no other El Paso County organization provides. To divert a little bit, but not too much, I would like to say thank you, add my thank you to the acknowledgement and recognition of our veterans and their caregivers, the LGBTQ community, as well as the homeless and the food El Pasoans for hunger organizations, because we're really linked in with this grant with all of those. We've assisted veterans of all races, ethnicity, ages, when they served. Several of the veterans that we've helped were homeless. We've been able to get them into homes. Several of them have had issues with employment, education. We've served, again, LGBTQ veterans. This provides an opportunity for us to affect and change people's lives within the great El Paso community. And it's far more reaching than just veterans, but it assists. When we are able to do this, it lessens the amount that General Assistance and other organizations are having to provide assistance for. So I'd just like to point out that there is that link between what we've talked about earlier today and acknowledging and supporting different organizations and different people in this grant, and happy to answer any questions that you may have for approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much for all the work that you're all doing.
Gentlemen, thank you. Appreciate it.
Item number 16, Budget and Finance. Approve and authorize the county judge to sign the 2019 Texas County and District Retirement System Plan Agreement.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Wally Hargrove from the Office of Budget and Fiscal Policy. During our budget hearings on August 14th, retirement rates options were discussed with the court, and the court gave the staff direction to budget our annually determined contribution rate. That rate this year is calculated at 16.97% of payroll. We are also discontinuing the voluntary contribution towards our plan payments. Our unfunded actuarial liability determined by the retirement system. We had chosen an option to contribute 17.13% of our planned payroll to the retirement system this year. The court decided to keep the annually determined contribution rate. This will allow the county to achieve approximately a 90% planned funding rate by December of 2021. That's based on current market conditions and assumptions being made in the retirement system model. During the budget hearings, it was noted that this is annual impact starting January 1 of 19 through December 31st of 19 was approximately $27.83 million. Your approval today gives the county judge the authorization to sign the plan agreement. It has been submitted to the retirement system and is due to be submitted prior to December 15th of 2018. Would ask for your favorable consideration.
Questions, Commissioners?
I move to approve. If there aren't any questions,
Commissioner Pettis? I just want to reiterate that as it pertains to this item, I think the county should seriously explore going down to 200%. We had pretty extensive discussions during budget, but I just wanted to know that I'll be voting against this rate as with the 250% as it stands.
To approve.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis.
No.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item number 17, approve amendment number 4 to the County of El Paso's 2018 through 2019 operating budget. This budgetary amendment will increase grants by $1,508,705.58, thus increasing the overall budget of $430,469,184.70 to $431,977,890.28.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Wally Hargrove from the Office of Budget and Fiscal Policy. The backup for Budget Amendment 4 was sent to you with your weekly agenda highlights. Were there any questions on this week's budget amendment?
Questions, Commissioners? No.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, Christina Sanchez, Assistant County Attorney. Prior to breaking into closed session for executive session, you have an item number 18B, which provides that pursuant to Section 551.0725, discuss contract negotiations between El Paso County and United States Department of Agriculture regarding USDA's letter of condition received for loan funding for the Hillcrest First Time Water Service Project. It is being requested that this item be discussed in executive session. However, before doing so, I need the court to make some findings, and I will go through that. Section 551.0725 of the Texas Government Code authorizes a Commissioner's Court to conduct a closed session to deliberate business and financial issues relating to a contract under negotiation if the court makes the following findings: that votes unanimously that deliberation in open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of the Commissioner's Court in negotiations with a third party. Your attorney, Christina Sanchez, advises the Commissioner's Court that issues a written determination that deliberation in open session would have a detrimental effect on the positions of the court, and that a recording of the proceedings in closed session be made. I have provided and will provide a memo to our county clerk for safekeeping in the records that establishes that. As your legal advisor, I have determined that the open meeting discussion on item number 18B is detrimental to the Commissioners Court if held in an open session, and this is in relations to negotiations with the U.S. Department of Agriculture on the USDA's letter of condition and the North American Development Banks for loan funding for the Hillcrest First Time Water Service Project. Therefore, I am requesting that the court make this finding that deliberations in open session would have a detrimental effect on the position of the court.
Okay. If there are no objections from members of the court, then we do make that finding.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Perez? Aye. Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
There's only 2 items. Let's rock and roll.
Commissioners Court will recess into executive session to discuss items 18A through 18C pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071 and 551.0725. Commissioners Court will reconvene to take official action.
The County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public. The sandbags are outside of the facilities and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: the Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, located at 1331 North Fabens Street in Fabens, Texas, 79838. The Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, located at 191 Canutillo Avenue in Canutillo, Texas, 79835. And the Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, located at 14698 Van Lane, El Paso, Texas, 79938.
Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Danny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched the prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings!
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the Purchasing Department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus to public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public. The sandbags are outside of the facilities and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: the Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, located at 1331 North Fabens Street in Fabens, Texas, 79838. The Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, located at 191 Canutillo Avenue in Canutillo, Texas, 79835. And the Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, located at 14698 Van Lane, El Paso, Texas, 79938.
Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Danny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched a prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings!
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the purchasing department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus to public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346th District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
Commissioners Court has reconvened into regular open session. Item number 19, discuss and take appropriate action regarding the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA letter of condition received for loan funding for the Hillcrest First Time Water Service Project. If approved, authorize the county judge to sign the necessary documents in compliance with the USDA RD letter of condition for the Hillcrest Center Subdivision First-Time Water Service Project.
Move to postpone this and its executive item for 2 weeks.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay.
This concludes today's meeting at 12:23.
Thank you all so much. Have a good week.